This morning on Facebook, Representative Faulingham put a video out, and he's basically giving his opinion on this Graham Platner situation. And yesterday, I think it was, I did a video, and I was talking about how Platner was kind of like part of this Democrat machine. And the machine wanted him to run, and they put all kinds of money behind him, and then his poll numbers start going down. So all of a sudden this machine, is what I keep calling it, the elites of the Democrat Party, they saw that his numbers were going down, so they got rid of him. They threw him out. They want to get a new person in because they see that he's probably not going to beat Susan Collins, and he wants to, that they want him to, but the numbers are saying nope, he's not going to, so they chew him up and spit him out and put him out with the garbage. And this morning, Representative Faulingham's video is talking about that, and he made a point that's saying exactly what I just said, but he said it in a much more clear, understandable way. And he was making the point about the Democrats. They are forever saying on a daily basis, that sometimes you can count on them every day, that us right-wingers are stepping on democracy. We're a threat to democracy. And really, if you stop and think about it, what is democracy? Democracy is two words: majority rule. Meaning, when you and I go to the polls and we vote, or go to elections or whatever, you are exercising democracy. It's simply a vote. And the Democrats, when they accuse us, right-wingers, of threatening democracy, well, I'm not really sure where the Republican Party or anyone on the right threatens democracy. We always, when the elections come around, we pick a candidate we want to support and we go vote for her. I don't know how we threaten that, but let's take a closer look at the Democrat Party. And this Graham Platner is a perfect example. The elites in the party came to Maine, and they're looking around for someone that they think can beat Sue Collins. And they can't look at the ones that are already down there in Augusta, because all of them have baggage. They have something about them that they know they won't be able to win that election against Sue Collins. So they come to Maine and they're looking for a fresh face, just like they did with Barack Obama. They took somebody who was literally a nobody, who hadn't really done anything. What was he? A community organizer. That's all he was. And then he got himself into Congress, and he was only in there for 143 days. That was it. I mean, basically someone who had no political background. That's what they wanted. That's what they needed. That way, nothing could be held against him, nothing could be anything, and put him into a race, make all kinds of claims that he's gonna, make every day sunny and every sky clear every single day. And that's what they do. They convince the Democrat voters, this is the next coming of Jesus Christ himself, and you need to vote for him, and they will. They'll run right out in flocks and vote for him, and they've done this right along. This Graham Platner is no different. The playbook that they use, the instructions in that playbook, was exactly the same with Graham Platner as it was with Barack Obama and most all Democrats. They know they can't use the old school ones because they're used and washed up, so they have to keep getting something fresh and new with no background. Now, why they picked Graham Platner, I don't know. I really don't know, because his background is what exactly took him out and what made his poll numbers come down. So I don't know why when they picked him that they didn't think for a minute that his background, which was known by everybody. Everybody knew his background. I mean, there's a lot of question here of why the Democrats picked Platner, but they did. And they wanted him to be part of an oligarchy, because that's what's going on in the Democrat Party. The Democrat voters themselves right now, all across Maine right now, I don't know how many Democrats that there are that supported Graham Platner, but now, because Platner had that bad background, everybody found out about it. Now all of a sudden no one wants to support him. The elites in the party are saying, well, if he's not going to win, then we got to get rid of him. So they get rid of him. All of a sudden people start coming out of the woodwork. He sexually assaulted me, or he patted my ass, or he did whatever. And they just keep saying it over and over again until support starts going down. And when the numbers went down, they put him out with the garbage. So then, now Graham Platner puts that video out the other day, and it was, I mean, for all intent purposes, if you watch it, it is a self-serving video. And he's basically saying, the power in the party wanted me a week ago. They were all happy with me. But then all this stuff come out on me. Now they don't want me, and now I'm mad at them. I was all right with them being an oligarchy. They wanted me to be part of it, and I was willing to be part of it. But now they've chewed me up and spit me out. Now I'm going to stand here and say, hey, everybody, look, they're an oligarchy. Without actually saying it. But this is what he's saying. He's saying they're the ones pulling all the strings. And what did he say in his video? I want to quote him as close as I can, word for word. He was saying, I'll step down and get out of the way, but my replacement I want determined by the voters, not those people that are in power getting rid of me. And I've got to say, he is 100% right. It should be you and your vote determining who is going to go against Sue Collins. But you're not going to. You're not. If you're a Democrat and you are a Graham Platner supporter, you're going to vote, but you're going to vote for the candidate that the oligarchs in your party choose. I've got a funny feeling. I watched national news this morning, and I saw a couple of reports yesterday that every time they show all of the people who have stepped up and said, well, we're going to file paper and we're going to run. One of them is Troy Jackson. And every time that the national news says, Graham Platner has stepped down, blah, 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 but these are all of the people that are stepping up to the plate that are going to take a shot at and possibly run. One in particular, and they always go right to Troy Jackson, which tells me the media has been told by the oligarchs in the Democrat Party, we're looking real hard at Troy Jackson. Out of all of the 8 or 9 of them, Troy Jackson is the one that seems to be getting their attention, because the media is telling you that by emphasizing every time, and it looks like Troy Jackson's gonna run, like they want you to get his attention. They're telling you who they're possibly going to pick. I'm not saying I know it's going to be Troy. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is right now, I think he is the higher-ups pick right now. And whoever the higher-ups pick, that's who you're going to be voting for if you're a Democrat. And I mean, there is so much in all of this. You Democrats have said to us right-wingers, you guys step on democracy. You're a threat to democracy. But your very own party leaders are the ones that are doing that exact thing to you. Not me, but to you. And this is why one of the many, many reasons why I'm no longer a Democrat. I used to be 25 years ago. I used to be a Democrat, but I'm not now. No way. No way, because this is exactly what the Democrat Party, that's what I have found it to be. I'm not saying you, the voter. What I'm trying to do with this video right here is show you one of these reasons that I learned 20 years ago. And I hope you see it now. This party does not care about your anything. All they care about is when they put someone up there to run, they want you to vote for that person. That's what they want, and they want to win. After they win and they get that power, they don't care about you. The only time they care about you is when elections come around and they need your vote. And that's it. That's it. This is what the Democrat Party is. And this is what Representative Faulingham's point was in his video this morning. Now, he was taking it a step further, and he was saying basically what I just said to you about how the Democrat Party, not your next door neighbor Democrat, but them people down in Augusta, down in Washington, and in the mainstream media, they're all working together to pull a fast one on you. But on our side, we don't do that. That's not something we do. I'm not saying our side is perfect in every way. No, it's not. But we don't do that. We don't fool our voters. That's why when all right, for example, with Donald Trump, I know none of you Democrats like Donald Trump. You don't like him. But love him or hate him, this country's better. You know, you're keeping more money in your pocket. Your what do they call them? The 401ks. Look at the stock market. That has put more money in everybody's 401ks compared to what they were before when Biden was in there. And that means for the older folks who are retired and everything, they are absolutely doing better. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. We've got businesses from around the world that had left because of NAFTA and stuff like that. Now Trump's got things set up and businesses are coming back. Yes, it's going to take a few years to see the results from this, but there's at least a light at the end of the tunnel. Gasoline is coming down. I went to the gasoline pumps here yesterday, and I'm trying to remember, it was $3.60 something. It had been almost up to $4. It's coming down. Every week it keeps coming down. Yes, they've started riling up over there in Iran again, but hey, things are going to get better. It's just going to take a little time. But overall, Representative Faulingham was basically saying, if you guys want to leave your party and come to ours, we won't do that to you. We won't disenfranchise you. We won't do anything like that. He was making a good point, but I know a lot of you Democrats probably don't want to be Republicans or in the Republican Party. And you don't have to be. You don't have to be. You can be Democrats. And see, this is I'm going to go a little longer than I normally do because I think this is a good video and it's something that I like to talk about. I don't mind a Democrat and their policies, simply because if you have good Democrats and good policies, the difference is usually, like, let's take taxes. Pick any tax you want, okay? And a Democrat will say, well, I want 15 cents. Republican will say, well, we can get by with 7 cents or 8 cents. We don't need to go that high. So, by rights, you can balance that a little bit and negotiate and get it so it's 10 or 12 cents. and try to meet somewhere in the middle. And a good Democrat and a good Republican should be able to negotiate and get it to that point where you're both meeting in the middle. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way the system is supposed to work. You know, you got to give and take, you got to negotiate and be fair, or try to be as fair as you can on both sides of the aisle. But with these Democrats today in Augusta, not you or your next door neighbor, down in Augusta, down in Washington, what I've been seeing for the last 20 years of my life that I've been paying attention to it, when a Democrat wants something, they want it all, or nobody gets anything. I want all that I want, and I'm going to get it, and if I can't get what I want, nobody's going to get what they want. That's not the way to govern. That is not the way to govern. A good Democrat wouldn't do that. I understand on some issues, when you're standing on core values and principles, that's one thing. That's one thing. But you've also got to have as a core value and a principle that you've got to meet the other side halfway. You got to. You can't expect to have everything all your way all the time, or everything's going to get upset and knocked off the table. I mean, you just can't have it that way. And that's why I say, that's why I have a problem with the progressives. The progressives, that's what it seems like to me. I want everything I want, and I want it all my way, and I don't care whether it hurts a few people or it only helps a certain group of people, but it doesn't help everybody else. I mean, I don't know what makes these people think this way. I have no idea. All right, it's a perfect example. You need an example. These men or these young boys that think they're girls and they want to go into girls' locker rooms. Now, I don't care where you come from, and I don't care what your ideology is. We are human beings, and we all know that girls have their room and boys have theirs, and that's the way it's supposed to be. And if there's any bending of the rules there, well, that's exactly what it is. You're bending the rules. And what happens when rules get bent? Everything collapses, and then you get to start all over again. Bending rules is wrong, totally and completely wrong. And I don't care what the issue is, you bend rules and eventually it breaks. And when it breaks, then you've got total collapse of the system. It's that simple. That's the way it's always been. We're human beings, and we've known this for thousands of years since we've been able to understand common sense. But you have people in the Democrat Party, in a party that could be good. There is a group of them that has all the power, the oligarchies, like old Bernie Sanders says. Yeah, well, we can bend the rules. We can bend the rules. We have to bend the rules. And look where it's gotten them. Look at that party now. Look at the Democrat Party right now. Most of the good Democrats, they haven't come to the Republican Party by no means, but they sure as hell ain't part of this Democrat Party. No way. Absolutely no way. They're probably talking about starting their own party, and I wouldn't blame them if they did, because this current party is, just like I always say in my comments on Facebook, nothing but rot. Pure R-O-T, rot. A good party that's gone all to hell. There was a time when they had core values and principles, and it's just gone. All it is I want to win. I want to win and have power so that I can do anything that I want. That's all it is to them. And it's too bad. It really is. It's too bad. You're supposed to be in government serving us people and making us people in our lives so we can pursue happiness. And you're not. All you want to do is make things better for yourselves and comfortable for yourselves. And in the process, you make life hard for everyday people like me and you. And that sucks. That sucks. And that's why we all need to make an agreement to change this. And you can do it by just going to the ballot box and voting for people who truly are telling the truth and want to take care of us and the country and preserve core values and principles. And I know it's awful hard to do because you never know if someone's telling the truth or not, but it's the system we got and it's the way the system works, so you just have to use your common sense. All right, so now I'm at the end of this video. I've gone 20 minutes. My Lord, I'm going to double the time. But I told you there was going to be times when these videos are going to be long because I got to run my face. But, okay, thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I definitely want to hear your comments. Please, just put comments down there. And like I said, if you agree, great. If you don't, great. Let me know. What say you? I want to know what you've got to say. All right, you guys have a great weekend. If anything comes up over the weekend, I might pop another video up. But if not, I'll have one on Monday morning for you. I'll be scanning all the news this weekend and seeing what's going on and get my opinions in line. So, okay, you have a great weekend. We be gone.